Hello there, friends. So as we are talking about having a flourishing home, one of the things that we really enjoy is having live flowers all around the house. I have plants in the kitchen and I try to keep flowers on the table. Our house really isn't lit very well for plants in many other rooms, but we are here today with the Bouqs company. And these guys, you can see on the package, they are cut to order farm fresh flowers and they get shipped to your door. Today happens to be a Saturday, and I was super excited when FedEx came today with these beautiful flowers, and I thought I would show them to you before I got to look at them myself. Now, this is another yay fact. They are sourced from sustainable, responsible farms. And this, of course, you have your little flower care up here and the drink up, and we're going to open this up. There's something really cool about opening flowers in a box, guys. Oh my goodness, look at these. Oh, they're so pretty. So let's see here, the Bouqs company, we have a nice little note. This is the Admiration Bouq, if you are wondering what these are. And so it tells you exactly here. You cut the stems at a 45-degree angle, remove the guard petals, and place in fresh water. And then you change the water every 2 days. One of the things that I also do that is not listed on there is with fresh flowers. When it gets to be bedtime and I'm going through the house and closing everything up at the end of the night, I try to remember to put them into the refrigerator. It just helps extend their life that much more. To keep them cold, it kind of puts them in a hibernation state. Oh, it smells so good. So here we have the vase filler, or the vase food, I guess. And I'm going to get a vase out in a few minutes, and I will show you guys how I arrange these. But you do want to use this stuff. It really does help kind of extend the life. But here are the flowers. Aren't they pretty? Now they do look a little bit thirsty, so I'm going to try and get these in some water pretty quick. And that is something that I guess would happen shipping flowers. But we will get them all rehydrated and ready to go. And I will show you guys our arrangement in just a few minutes. Okay guys, so we are getting ready to put together our Bouq. Again, this is the Admiration Bouq. So if you want to order this exact one, that's the name of it. They've got so many to choose from though, it's really hard to pick. And they also have a subscription, so you can get flowers monthly, which is wonderful. And they give you all these tips in the flower food so that you can keep your flowers looking fresh for a long time. Now these guys, you see, they're all perked up now. They've been in here about 25 minutes. I just cut about an inch off the bottom and stuck them down in some fresh, cool water. And you can see my little purple ones especially, they all perked back up. You just cut off the bottom of the stem because it kind of dries out in shipping, and once it dries out, the veins that take the water up through the flowers sort of collapse down in the bottom and nothing gets sucked up, and that's why they get a little dehydrated. So once you cut off that part of the stem, they're good to go. So I also trimmed a touch off of the eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is really woody. You need clippers or a really sharp knife if you're cutting the eucalyptus to trim it down. Now I did not opt for a container from Bouq. I have my extra in case I have enough flowers to fill up a little one for my bedroom container here, which is a white hobnail vase. And then I have a pink pitcher that I will be using to make the arrangement for our kitchen table. And now if you hear the minions in the background, they're a little restless today. So I'm gonna start here with my roses, and I always take just a pair of regular sharp scissors and clip off some of the greenery. I tend to either leave the top one or the top two. And then this is too tall. You want your flowers to sort of come up another 2/3 at the most, but because this container is a little small and I know it's going to flow out really big over the sides, I'm not going to have them go up quite that high. So you're going to put it in your water. Now I've already dissolved my plant food in here, and I even made myself a little trash bag over here. I'm notorious for making a mess with flowers. Once upon a time ago, I was a wedding coordinator and designer, and I worked with flowers all the time. But when we decided to close that business to focus on growing our family, we stopped doing so much with flowers. But I still love them, and I try to keep them in the house. And so you want to remember the odd numbers tend to be more pleasing to the eye. It's just a rule of floral design. And you can play with your shapes, and you can play with your colors. And I really like this pale pink. I think I'm gonna put this one kind of towards the middle. So I'm gonna leave it a little bit longer than my other ones so it can kind of be propped up there. All right, so this one, when I get all my stuff, flower or all my greenery in there to hold it, although I'm not crazy about that leaf on the end. It's a little bit broken. So I trimmed that one off. All right, so this is kind of our base, and we can start putting a little bit of the greenery in. Aren't these leaves beautiful? And that's the other thing about not doing floral design for a long time. I've forgotten what half of this stuff is called. Roses, I think, are easy to remember. But some of the rest of it is not. Goodness. I'm not sure what kind of battle the kids are having in the schoolroom right now, but it's a big one. And then we just keep building out with the greenery. And then the eucalyptus is really a fun add-on. Anytime you have anything that kind of you can make flow and bend a little bit, or that really adds a visual interest, that's fun. All right. So now I'm gonna make some of these show up a little bit more down at the bottom. So I'm gonna cut just a hair more off. So I'm gonna have some kind of poke out there through the leaves. And this is really just fun. If you have never just played with a bunch of flowers in one of your favorite containers, I highly recommend it. It's therapeutic. And there's nothing, like there's no wrong way to do it. There's no best way to do it. It's just making something pretty that kind of makes your home feel a little bit more special in the middle of the day-to-day busyness that we all seem to be struck with. And you can see too, when you trim off the excess leaves on your roses, it also allows the water down here to stay free of leaves. Leaves will decay in water very quickly, where stems will not. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of eucalyptus here. And leaves can really do a number on your water. And if your water gets all murky and yucky, it will without a doubt affect your flowers. And I'm just gently bending these stems a little to give them a curve. Now, because it is woody, these thicker stems are more prone to breaking than the little skinny ones. Oh, it smells so good, guys. I wish there was a way to let you smell this, but I'm sure Alexa's working on it. So we actually don't have a dot at home. And I'm kind of wondering, with all the great courses that have come out recently, if Alexa will talk you through those. So if you guys know that, just like pop in the comments and let me know. And again, I cannot remember the name of these, but I adore these little purple flowers. And I'll give you guys a close-up after after we get our little arrangement together here. But I'm just using these to kind of fill in the space. And I am one who really likes to sort of fill out just a touch around the base of the flowers. So I tuck some in around the sides. I just think, you know, especially because this is for the kitchen table, when you're sitting at the table, you see the entire arrangement. And so having that little bit of extra pop of color down around where the greenery all meets up together is nice. All right, let's get some flowers in there. Oh, it's so pretty. I just love all these flowers. Now you'll notice that the roses are pretty much in bud form right now. And that actually allows you to keep your arrangement a lot longer because they have to open up and they stay open for a few days before they start dropping their petals. And again, as long as you're taking good care of your flowers, they will last a really long time. Now, these roses have been mostly dethorned. I've only found a couple little pieces here and there that that were still hanging on to their sharper pieces. Now there are some people who prefer to do their big flowers first and then add in the filler. And if that is you, that is fine. So, these lavender roses, guys, they're just so pretty. Let's see, what have we got here? Once you get so many stems in there, sometimes it's a little tricky to get them all. In the bottom without moving some of your other flowers. This one I think want to relocate just a little bit. Now, one of the other ways that I often do the arranging of the flowers is to make it in my hand like a bouquet, especially when I'm using the smaller vase here, because that allows me to just do it once and then I just drop it in there. But when you have a wider mouth container like this one, sometimes that is not feasible, because when you let a bouquet stem go into a wide mouth container, it doesn't always hold its shape. So, oh, I really like it. I'm gonna tuck a little bit more of these purple flowers around the base. And in here. Now, if you have left the top parts of the rose greenery on and you feel like it's too much green, just take your little scissors and snip in there and you can snip the stems off pretty easy. There we go. All right. I don't want to overload it with roses. So for now, I think I'm going to call this good. Maybe. I'll come back to it in a minute, because I don't also want to have a huge arrangement on the kitchen table, but we'll see. I may add some more here in a minute. I do like having flowers in my bedroom, and I usually don't do that very often because I usually just get a small bouquet and put it on the kitchen table. Those are just so pretty. I've got to find out what they're called. If you know what those little greenery pieces are, drop that in the comments too. It's really funny. Sometimes I think homeschooling eats part of my brain away. sounds ridiculous, but it's true. I think my children just take the brain cells and run away with them. They're both pretty clever. So we're gonna put these in here. Oh my goodness. I hear unhappiness from the minions. Just a touch. Oh. And again, I'm gonna have to go chase down some of these. I actually have a smaller vase, or a smaller opening vase that this would probably do well in. And again, these are the skinny ones. You can really, really work with them to make them kind of droop, which is fun. So throw that in there. You know what? I think perhaps that's what I wanted right here. There we go. Ta-da! See, you just play with the flowers. Play with the flowers. And this, take a little trim off of. And a lot of times as you're playing with the flowers, you will become a little bit more inspired with the building that you are doing. Of your arrangement. So there's that. Now these vases are not full of water yet. I will go back and add more water after I am finished adding my flowers. But it's really easy to overfill your vase when you, if you fill it all the way up and then start putting the flower stems in it, because some stems take up more room than others. So I just prefer to do a small amount first. I'll just tuck you in there since you're already out. All right, now, this little ditty right here is gonna go in my room. And now let me check this one out. So I have my, I really like droops. I've always really liked droops. I had them in a lot of wedding bouquets too, because they just make it feel more organic. So, let me see, what do I think? I think I like it. But I think I want to move something. So I'm going to play with this for a few minutes, and then I'll show you guys the finished product.